All right, we are live on live streaming, and got a notice from the escort vehicle that they have gone under Highway 50. So on the way here and a couple of miles out. And you sound so excited about that. Come on, Team BEMER. Woo! You got to earn that right to cross the finish line. Thank you all very much for staying off the yellow line. Very much appreciated by RAAM Media and the BEMER Media as well. So we do have some final numbers for you. The average speed for Team BEMER, winners of the 2022 Race Across America, 24.66 miles per hour. And they are coming in with the fastest time ever as far as days and time, 5 days, 2 hours, 47 minutes. So incredible job by Team BEMER racers and crew. Awesome job, everybody. All right, everybody, they are close. They're at Church Circle at the red light, so within 5-ish minutes, I'm thinking Team BEMER will be here to accept your cheers. Rich, is that okay with you? Everyone, I do have to say, no champagne up on stage anywhere close. I sleep up here, and I hate it when I get a sticky bed like that. So no champagne up on stage. No joking. Yeah, no. The ants will come and eat me first. All right, they are off church circle. So Vic, everyone can mob you in 20 seconds after. All right. All right, Team BEMER is on Green Street now. You know, while you're all standing here, how about a big round of applause for Rick Bothling, Executive Director of Race Across America, for getting this going this year. All right, Jeff Magnuson got his flag going. Looks like we may be turning into the parking lot. Those horns definitely mean they are on their way in. All right, here they come. Chris DeMarchi, Phil Tensman, Tony Restuccia, Josh Stockinger, Randall Coxworth, Jason Midoff, Jason Paez, and Carlos Casali. Team BEMER, champions of the 2022 Race Across America, 5 days, 2 hours, 47 minutes. Average speed 224.66 miles an hour, Team BEMER. Crew, if you could please take your racers' bicycles so we can get Team BEMER up on stage. Thank you for parting the seas, Rick. Crew, if you could please grab your riders' bicycles so we can get the racers up on stage. Racers, if you could please come up on stage. Team BEMER racers, please come on up on stage. Racers, please come up on stage. And here's Rick Bothling with your finishers medals. Guys, take a couple of steps forward. Let's hear it for Team BEMER. All right, if you take a couple of steps back. So please introduce yourself, and got some questions for you.
Sure, my name's Jason Meidoff. I just rode across the country.
Jason, I see each of you have world record holder on the back of your skin suits. Is that to motivate each other?
Well, I think it was more to hold some of these guys accountable, and then the rest of us, we were just wanting to get the record.
Well, you kind of have the record already, so, you know. You did have the fastest time that we've ever had for the finish of a race across America. 5 days, 2 hours, and 47 minutes. Average speed was 24.66 miles an hour. You did that for over 3,000 miles. There's an awful lot of folks out there who would like to average 24.66 on a training ride.
Wow, I think I could probably speak for the group. I think we're all really still taking in this experience. I mean, this was just massive on so many levels. I mean, yeah, we made it.
Congratulations, Jason. Nice job. And what is your name?
My name is Carlos Casali.
Carlos, what was this experience like for you?
Well, unlike some of the other guys here, this is my first time, so it was sort of the pinnacle of a lot of emotions. You know, the challenge, you know, the teammate mentality, the accomplishments that we had in mind. We had to lean a lot on these guys that have done it a few times already, a lot of experience. They kind of nursed us through the ups and downs. There's a lot of difficult nights out there. Unexpected events happen along the journey, but we all, you know, did it as a team. It was an awesome experience.
I mean, you all really held yourselves accountable. It's not like you could go out and have an easy or an off ride without feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't want to let the team down. That had to be incredible pressure.
You know, this is sort of the pinnacle of a team event, right? I mean, everybody was accountable. I mean, we have 8 guys here, but the crew, I mean, they are as critical. I mean, right? We couldn't have done it without everybody here. I mean, everybody played a major critical role, and everybody was top-notch. Everybody was accountable. They know exactly what they had to do, and it was just a great team event.
Congratulations, nice job. And how are you, world record holder?
My name's Tony Rustusha. This is my 5th one, along here with Chris. I don't know, it feels pretty good to do it again. Everyone's different. The challenges we faced this time were, I mean, after 5 times you think you'd seen it all, but we hadn't.
No, you didn't.
No, it was, you know, lots of different challenges, but it was great to go through it with a bunch of new guys, too. They brought a lot of fresh energy, and it was great to be in there, you know, in the darkest times with those new guys by your side.
Nice. Now, Chris, Tony's got paler legs than you do. Did he not get as much training in?
I live in Hawaii.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So, Tony, how did this compare to last year's event?
I mean, the weather was different. I think the first big change was probably the detour through Winslow. That was brutal. Chris and I and Phil and Randall, we were out there in some of the worst weather we've ever been in. Like, we could barely even ride our bikes downhill, never mind going uphill into the wind. So that kind of took a lot out of us there on that. I guess that was the second day. And then we just had other challenges along the way with, you know, vehicles dropping out and having to switch things around and remember the tracker to leave it in the right place. But, I mean, in the end, it's another big adventure.
That's actually a really good description for RAAM. People are like, wow, is this fun? And it's like, no, it's an adventure.
Yeah, I'm Chris DeMarquis. This is my 5th time with Tony, and you know, it's an honor to do this. And this one's special. These 8 guys here, the crew. I mean, everybody was interviewed, handpicked, and just great. And again, RAAM, the challenges. Every year you think, okay, I got this. All right, no big deal. We'll work through it. And then just, oh my God, like the Winslow. I've never been so cracked in my life. This is the hardest course I've ever done, period. Like, we're descending in weather and winds. And you know it's funny when I get back in the van and I'm descending, shaking, scared for my life. And when I get back in, I think that Tensman's going to give me a bunch of shit. And he's like, bro, dude, like, I'm glad that was you and not me. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Like, I know he'll give me shit later, but I was literally like, I'm pulling over right now. I'm not going anywhere because this is brutal. And that added like 6 hours to our time. And just to get through it and really not make a big deal about it to the other riders, like that were coming in off, you know, when we go off shift, it's like, man, okay, just go. Like, no negative. It's got to be all positive the whole way through. And, you know, again, RAAM just throws it at you. And it's special. It truly is special. And this one was great, like the life experience and the BEMER family, the sponsors, just everybody. It's really, really cool that the crew and these 7 other guys can make all this happen.
Phil, I'm really glad you were able to be positive to Chris's face, because man, you should see the tech. You should see the text thread I have with Phil. So I love your mental makeup, because each RAAM I've done, I look terrified at the start because I know what's coming.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like, I've got this wired.
Well, and it was interesting. We tried to pair up, you know, we've got 4 new riders, 4 experienced riders, and we're trying to pair them up based on where they live, when they're going to hit the big mountains. For instance, they're from Colorado. Heat, who's good in the heat? I live in Hawaii, humid. I can ride in the heat. You know, and I think if we were to pair us up again after the experience, we might make a slight change, or maybe not. I mean, we have to sit down and kind of just breathe and take this in for a minute. But overall, it was good. I mean, it was really good. I mean, we were really shooting for going under 5 days, just to say like, hey, we're going to go under 5 days. It's really cool to say 4 days, you know, in 23 hours. But when RAAM throws stuff at you and coming into Annapolis, it just gets busier every year. More traffic lights, more trains, more construction, more, you know, sometimes you'll get a guy at a construction site and he's like, yeah, go through. And then you'll get a guy like, nope, wait. And you're like, dang it. You know, and you just follow the rules, do your best, be ethical about it. And that's what RAAM does for you.
Nice. Thank you, Chris. Congratulations on winning again. And what's your name?
I'm Randall Coxworth. My first RAAM. It's my first RAAM.
And is it everything you expected and more?
Well, when Phil gave me a call and said, hey, do you want to do RAAM? I said, sure, I'll do anything once. And just to go back to Chris in the downhill, so if you see this bicep, I've never seen his bicep so big in a wind on the ride. So yeah, so no, it was great. I mean, I think that the neatest thing about the ride was it's a big country, it's a beautiful country, and to see it on a bike, you know, ripping across it, it's just amazing. You know, it makes you proud.
What caught you most off guard? Like, what were you not expecting that showed up and you were like, whoa?
2 things: winds in Kansas and a very large semi-truck in Kansas.
That semi-truck maybe passing you in a crosswind?
And on a railroad track. So, yeah.
But you came through unscathed.
Look at me and look at the semi-truck driver.
Well, congratulations. And with that, what you said about RAAM, we'll see you next year. Josh, correct? Correct. Stockinger. Perfect. I remember you from the World Time Trial Championships. You rode great there. Were you able to carry that into this event?
Yes, I was.
You rode like a hero.
This is my second RAAM, actually, with the same crew, or the 4 same guys. They invited me back, and I said, yes, we're going for it.
What were your goals personally here? I know what the team goals were, but what did you want to do that would really make you feel like you had a great race?
Just use my experience from the first race, because I came completely knowing nothing. Haven't even been on a TT bike. And so, yes, I got a TT bike 3 weeks before the race. So build it, learn to ride it, yeah. And so now, this race, all the experience, the 24-hour race, I was like, let's do this. I have so much that I learned and so much I can give back to the team.
Wow. So, Phil, Chris, I mean, he's going to be really fast next year. Awesome.
He's already like, let's do it. We crossed the line. Let's do it again.
Josh, we're going to see you at the 24?
Yep, already signed up. I got to get that 500 miles.
Love hearing that. Phil, it's really good to see you again.
Hi, George. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I just, I walked 24 hours a week ago, but I haven't been on my bike.
Well, that's good. I mean, there's always a bright side.
Sort of. So how did this one compare for you? I didn't see you doing a rear wheel, trials practice when you got to the finish.
Well, I didn't have the opportunity. I'm sorry.
So we can see that later.
No, we have our TT bikes. We don't have our road bikes. So there's no stunt show today at 2 o'clock. So it's tomorrow.
Same kind of question for you. You've done a number of Race Across Americas. You had some big goals this time. How are you feeling right now? I mean, you did win the race.
Yeah, it's like that was our first goal was, to first and foremost win, the race. The record is always on our mind. And, it's one of those things that's very weather dependent, as we all know, anybody involved with this. So it was just do everything correctly, limit your, it's like anything negative, and manipulate, the race into your favor so you can do everything correct and hopefully you get that, weather correct and everything else. And God, we have a wonderful group of guys that, everybody here is a racer and, and they've raced on their own and they're accountable to themselves. And so that was probably the best thing is that everybody, it's like nobody had to say, hey, are you soft pedaling? Are you whatever? It's like everybody's like holding themselves accountable and almost going too hard because nobody wants to let anybody else down, right? But no, and it's also great. Like so many things with, it was rad seeing all the veterans help out juniors that are, coming in. And, with certain knowledge of things, like RAAM is totally different. Like Randall, it's his first one, but it's like he learned a lot of things, and it's awesome because watching this learning experience was pretty amazing. And, it's like certain settings for BEMER stuff, it's like during the middle of, like in between transitions, like we're sitting in the van and, Chris is showing all of us like certain other like settings on our BEMERs, and we're like, whoa. And then next time out, it's like we feel amazing. So there was a lot of things going on, and it was very interesting. Like every time is a lot of, unforeseen circumstances and stuff, but like it worked out really well, and we all rode hard, and we have a great result.
It's really good to see you again, Phil. And I'm out of questions. No. And what's your name?
My name is Jason Paez, and this is my first RAAM.
This is very good to hear. And tell us kind of the experiences you had out here that maybe you weren't necessarily expecting.
I didn't expect. No, I didn't know what to expect. Everything that could possibly be thought of happened. I mean, we had crazy weather, we had cars break down, we had people bonking, we had things shifting around, and I crashed. Yeah, it's almost controlled chaos. But I'm so glad that I was on this team because not a single crew or rider faltered when the time came. Everyone just did what they had to do, and that made the experience so much better.
What went through your mind when you crashed, when you hit the asphalt? What were you thinking? No.
Nah. Well, I hit the ground. I was like, shit, this happened. Like, now what? But yeah, the team did what they had to do. The next rider luckily it was in a transition. The next rider went off. They checked me out, went back to the RV. The guys took extra pools while I was out in the RV, putting in way more effort just to cover. I went back out when I knew I was good, just slotted right back in, and we kept going on, business as usual. So, I mean, yeah, these guys just put in extra work. They offered. It wasn't even a question. They just did it, The staff, same thing. Everyone just stepped up to the plate, so.
That's the reason I asked. I figured he wasn't worried about himself. It would be, oh my gosh, what's the team going to do now? No, and I love that attitude.
Yeah, everyone on the crew is just coming up. Are you okay? What can I do for you? What do you need? Do this. Check yourself out. Here's aspirin. Just everyone work together. And I mean, I feel just so privileged to be on this. And I got. And I will say, so I had this big old bruise on my back from the radio, shoving into it. And I did BEMER it for like the setting that I needed to. And by the next morning, after a good rest, it was gone.
Big round of applause to 8 guys who crossed the country in the shortest amount of time ever. 5 days, 2 hours, 47 minutes. You're amazing.
I just, real quick, we can't, right. We can't, we'll bring the crew up in a minute, and we can't obviously point out all the crew, but really, from our hearts to yours, there's no way we're getting this done without you. Like, I'm looking at every single one of you guys. Okay? And obviously, most important, Ken Kramer and Greg Peterson. The behind the scenes, putting this together, you guys have no idea the amount of hours, and when I say hours, it's weeks, it's months, it's the phone calls, the meetings, it's so crazy. And all we got to do is ride our bikes. So thank you guys, thank you the crew, from all of us. It's a huge deal for us. Thank you.
Jason And now, an award that is very difficult to win. All right, fastest team in Race Across America 2022, come on up. Let's get some photos. All right, crew, if you'd come on up and join your team, that would be great. And here is Rick Bothling with the Jim Kennedy Award for the fastest team of Race Across America 2022, Team BEMER.